Yeah.
Cool.
11 was the Sun. Oh, sorry.
All right. What's up? It's Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies, and today we got something a little different. It's first time I've done it. Actually, been the host. We have 6 guys that love the draft, and we're going to do our own live draft. So, everyone, introduce yourself, and we'll go in the order of the screen. So, you go first, Kuzey.
Hello, my name is Kuzey Kiliç. I live in Turkey, Istanbul. I am 19 years old and I am international scout, also chef editor at Eurosport and Eurosport Turkey. Enjoy the air.
All right, thanks. It's on you, James.
I'm James Barlowe. I'm a co-contributor to NBA Draft Junkies. I'm not 19 anymore, but yeah, I'm here to help on the draft. I do some basketball skills training on the side out of my 9 to 5. So
awesome. I'm Jason Visenberg, half of the Viseland podcast. I'm a stand-up comedian, writer, and just basketball junkie.
All right, Michael Visenberg. I live in Portland, Oregon. Went to University of Oregon. Written for NBADraft.net. Currently with Perspective Insight. Do some stuff for the Stepien as well. And half of the Viseland podcast. We just started up, and we're going on our 8th episode. JV.
It's going to be number 10 actually coming up.
10? Holy cow! So, yeah, we're getting in there.
Cool. Yeah, I just started my podcast a few weeks ago, and I just uploaded episode number 9. So, salute to you guys for going with it and putting it out there.
Yeah, salute to you as well, Raphael.
Thank you. All right. Last but not least,
I'm Stone Hansen. I work for draftsite.com. Update all their mock drafts there. You can check out all my work. It's usually on Twitter at report_court. I'm looking forward to drafting.
All right. Well, now let's get started. I'm Raphael Barlowe, the host, founder of NBA Draft Junkies, if I didn't mention that earlier. So let's get started. We did a tankathon simulator, and I'm shocked. The way this draft looks, the way the results turned out, it's not what the original one looks like. But again, that's what the lottery is all about. So Jason, you are on the clock. You have the first pick. You are in charge of selecting for the Chicago Bulls. Who are you taking?
Super interesting pick for the Bulls because you just got Kobe White last year. You got kind of Zach LaVine, Larry Markkinen. I'm still going to go Anthony Edwards, Georgia. I think, kind of a move that kind of you might have to get LaVine out of there eventually, but I think it's the way to go.
Yeah.
And why are you selecting Anthony Edwards?
I think, again, you pair him with Kobe White, you got your backcourt for hopefully a very, very long time. I'm like, part of my mind was LaMelo, but then you put that time in Kobe White, and I think he's got a lot of potential. So, I think you got to go with the 2 to kind of complement Kobe White a little bit.
Okay. I think Chicago fans would be happy with that. That's a tough choice. I think no matter who you would have selected, they already have a young guy that they recently drafted at that position. So
totally.
I'm glad I didn't have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and Zach LaVine's still kind of, he's not old, so it's kind of a tough place. Yeah, because he's playing well,
and he's arguably their franchise player.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Kuzey. I'm sorry, Mikey has the number 2 pick.
I have the number 2 pick, and with that, the Minnesota Timberwolves will select LaMelo Ball. He is number 1 on my board. I think he just would fit in really well. It would be interesting with D'Angelo Russell. Malik Beasley came in and played some big minutes for them and was scoring in bunches. But, yeah, they're a team that needs quite a bit. And I just think LaMelo will be kind of a reinvigoration for that franchise right now as well.
So you're pairing LaMelo and D'Angelo in the backcourt together.
With Cat. Layup line.
Yeah.
That like again, that would be a tough choice. Yeah. But I think D'Angelo can play off the ball and he's a good shooter. So
for sure.
Tough choice. All right. here we go. Number 3. It's on you, Stone. You have to pick for the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, so with this pick, it's pretty. I can go wherever I want and be fine positionally. They're just in talent accolation mode right now. So I'm going to go with Killian Hayes, draft their point guard of the future. I think that he provides just everything that they could want in a point guard. The passing is second only to LaMelo in this draft. Just really high IQ, so I think he fits well and can be a building block for them in the future.
You had the easiest choice. I mean,
So far,
no, any position that you would have. I mean, even at power forward, it wouldn't even been crazy to select a power forward if there was one that high, ranked as high in the draft. All right, James, you got the biggest riser in the draft. You got the San Antonio Spurs with the 4th pick.
Well, the Spurs are the Spurs, and we like to think that they have the best player development. So I'm going to hope that they can sprinkle some of that sauce on Denny Avdija, and he can be a player for the Spurs. DeRozan is probably going to opt in because of the coronavirus, but LaMarcus is getting old. They could use another 3-4. I mean, you got Rudy Gay out there half an Achilles, so it looks like a good fit. He's been playing really well. I think his stock is rising because he's got like actual footage compared to guys who are sitting at home. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that pick.
that's one of the best fits I think you can get in this draft.
Yeah. Yep. Can't knock that pick.
Yeah.
All right, Kuzey. You got another easy. Well, I guess it's easy in a sense because you're the GM of the Warriors. So, but you have the 5th pick. So, Who are you selecting number 5?
I selected Onyeka Okongwu from USG because Warriors will have Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green, but they need explosive big. They need a big who can protect the rim, who can block shots, who can play pick and roll effectively. So I chose Onyeka Okongwu because of that.
Another great pick.
Like it.
All right, so I guess it's on me with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and who this is. I'm not a big fan of their backcourt, and all right, this is what I'm going to do. I don't think Andre Drummond is going to be around after next year. I think that he's already said he's gonna opt in, and so I think Tristan Thompson is outie 5,000. So I'm going to go with James Wiseman at number 6.
Yeah. He was our first pick last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. But I think this is just indicative of this draft. Somebody can go number 1. Well, one of the bigs can go number 1, or they can fall to 6 or 7. So Mr. Ray 93, he asked Drummond and Wiseman, and I'm saying that Drummond is only going to opt in for 1 year. I don't think that he's going to sign a long-term extension. So I'm going with Wiseman. And then I can get the same production for like $80 million cheaper.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6 is me again, the Atlanta Hawks. They need defense in the worst way. And so I'm going to take the hometown kid, Isaac Okoro, even though we've already drafted wings last year, but we need defense really bad. So I'm taking Okoro at number 6. So number 7 is – I'm sorry. I was number 7. Number 8 is Kuzey with the Knicks.
This is tough decision, but I will select Tyrese Haliburton. Yeah, because Knicks needs a lot of things, a lot of players, but we are in the 8th seed and we can't pick Denny Avdija, Killian Hayes, or like franchise players. So I will pick Tyrese Haliburton, who can shot, who can play aggressively. So I think he can be a good fit with RJ Barrett thanks to his team player skills, and also he can be a good player with Mitchell Robinson thanks to Halliburton passing skills, so I will select Halliburton.
That's a good pick, man.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect.
That's a good pick, but Knicks fans are going to be on your neck. I had him. I did my GM where I was the general manager of the Knicks, and I considered drafting him. And man, I got a lot of messages of Knicks fans saying he's terrible.
They're happy with though.
Yeah, they'll
What's
never
that?
be
Happy.
Yeah,
They would have been
I
happy
think
with Zion. That was it last year.
Pretty much, but yeah.
But I mean, other than that, they'll never be happy.
someone commented, "Rip Halliburton. His career died before it even began in New York."
Let's go to the next.
Right. All right. Number 9, James. You got the Hornets.
Well, you guys took all the big men, so I'll take the next best thing. I think Obi Toppin will work well in Charlotte. I mean, they have a bunch of hybrid fours anyway, but at this point, you're just trying to figure out who can play, who's the best fit. But, you know, him playing with Devontae Graham shooting the ball well, I think he could be a really good pick and roll player with him and just get some young, well, dang, he's out there, young, but younger legs compared to Zeller and Biyombo. So I'll go with Obi Toppin. I'm not a big fan of the pick, but picking ninth is tough, especially on a team like Charlotte.
So you think PJ is going to play small ball 5?
At this point, why not? Just roll out Miles, PJ, and Obi Toppin and figure it out from there.
All right, Stone, you're on the clock. You got the Washington Wizards.
All right. There's a lot of guys actually that I like ahead of the guy that I'm taking, just in a vacuum. But I think the best fit, paired with the talent, is going to be Devin Vassell here. I'm a big fan of his 3-and-D. I think the Wizards could use a lot more wings like that. Just a guy that he's easily movable. No matter on whatever team, he's going to be an asset. Every team needs a guy like that. So I think that he's going to be a good fit here for the Wizards at number 10.
Okay. All right.
Easy pick for him.
Pretty easy. The number 11 pick goes to the Phoenix Suns. And that is who's picking number 11? Oh, I'm sorry. Mikey.
Yes, sir. With the number 11 picks, the Phoenix Suns will select Cole Anthony, North Carolina. They do have Ricky Rubio. I think right now you could probably bring Cole off the bench, and then you have a chance to play Devin Booker on ball. You get Cole's shooting. He, of course, has a fantastic pull-up game. You hope that with maybe better spacing, he could do a bit more finishing at the rim. But, yeah, you get a scorer, you get a shooter at the very worst. And I just think that he's going to end up being a solid player, especially at this position in the draft.
Yeah, that's a good pick for them. They're another team where they're locked in at center, they're locked in at the 2. And then you can go either way. Rubio, he's not old. It seems like he's been in the league forever, but I don't even know if he's 30 yet, or he may be early 30s. Yeah, and it seems like, I mean, think about it, he played in the Olympics versus Kobe and Brown. Was that the 08 Olympics?
2008, yeah.
It seems like it was so long ago.
Yeah.
All right. Number 12 is the Sacramento Kings, and that is Jason.
Yeah, Sacramento, interesting position. I think we're going to go with Aaron Nesmith, Vanderbilt, give another shooter on that team. You got De'Aaron Fox is your point guard. That's locked in. And they got Buddy Hield. I just think just adding another shooter to that kind of gives them something a little dangerous. You still got Bagley inside. I'm liking that for the future.
So do you think Bogdan is gone?
I think you have to bring. I think in the way the league goes right now, I think it's definitely possible that he could be gone. But then I think you can never have enough shooters just on your roster. Especially sometimes it takes those players, a year or two to get adjusted, acclimated. I think you can never go wrong with adding people that can just shoot.
Yeah, I agree. But if they get him, that's crazy shooting. And I think especially if they can end up playing Bagley at the 5 and just kind of even though I don't know if he is a 5, but I don't know if he's really a 4 either.
He said he bulked up to like 240, so I think he would do that, assuming he's going to be a 5 from now on. So, but at the same time, Rashawn Holmes does like the same thing.
Yeah. They got a lot of, I don't know what I mean, that was a good pick. It's just, I don't know which direction the Kings management would go in, simply because, I mean, if they bring Bogdan back, and then it seems like they're kind of stuck with the Harrison Barnes contract. I think they overpay him
in a position. Yeah, it's just like it's just tough because they're like, I think they're a team that they have a lot of potential. They're so close to know bursting into the playoffs.
I think they can make it. I think they're the forgotten team. I mean, they were like the hottest team in the league.
Yeah.
Well, not the hottest, but they were one of them before everything was shut down. So, and they're forgotten. Everybody wants either the Pelicans or the Blazers. So the Kings could sneak in. All right, 13. Jason.
Yeah, we go to New Orleans. The Pelicans, another team that's got like a lot of young guys. You got Ingram is your go-to guy right now, but obviously Zion is going to. He's gonna Zion. He's gonna be off to a great start. It's kind of a interesting, tough position. I'm not really sure what ultimate direction that team, that we're gonna take them, but I'm gonna go with Precious Achiuwa from Memphis, because I think again, just a big body rebound, play a certain role off the bench maybe for a little while, under a rookie contract. Has some potential.
Yeah, I'm a big Precious fan, but he's boom or bust. I think he's either going to be very good or he's going to be someone that struggles. To me, I don't even know if there's any in between. So
yeah, well, I think that the Pelicans are in that position where they can afford
position.
That.
Yep.
Because like they have Zion locked in. So it's like let's take a little bit of a risk and hopefully fill a role and then maybe trade bait in a couple of years.
Yeah. So Mikey, you're up again, right?
Yes, sir.
And you got your team.
I have the Portland Trailblazers. Living in Portland right now, and I am going to go with the same pick that Stone had last time with Tyrese Maxey, slipping to 14. I think that the Blazers, as much as they could use help at either forward spot, it seems like they're pretty set. But I feel like it's probably at the point where they're getting ready to do something with the whole CJ McCollum situation. And you could possibly trade him to get those forward assets. Tyrese is the highest guy on my board. I just think that he's going to be at least an efficient scorer in the NBA. He's somebody that I think could play with Damian Lillard. I do know that the Blazers have the guard prospects that they drafted a couple years ago that have played some minutes for them, but I feel like Maxey is better than either of them and just a step ahead of anybody else that is on my board right now. So that's why I take him at 14 for Portland.
14. So you think Maxey and Simons can play together?
That I'm not sure about. At this point, Simons still has so much that he needs to work on, and I feel like Maxey is. I'm a bit more confident, at least in his decision making, and then I think his body control is fantastic, and he's going to be somebody that I feel can become a pretty efficient scorer down the line. We're still not sure about that with Anthony Simons.
Interesting choice, but I mean, it's Maxey's, and a lot of people have him going higher. So getting him at that position would be a steal for the Blazers. All right, where are we at? Number 15. So that is Stone, correct?
Yeah.
So you have the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting the easy picks, softball thrown at me. So.
Layups, man.
Honestly. So I'm gonna keep that trend going and go with Kira Lewis here.
Knew it too.
Yeah, it's just too good of a fit. They need a primary initiator. He provides that super high ceiling with that athleticism. He'll probably be a guy who goes later in the actual draft than where I'm taking him right now. But I feel like his value is gonna he's gonna provide a lot of value for the pick that he'll be picked at. So I think this is a home run pick. And thank you guys for throwing me softballs.
Thanks. Actually, what do you think about Fultz?
Personally, I'm not as high on Fultz as a lot of people. I do think that both of those guys can play together. I think that's something that if it were to happen, you would see a lot of them spending backcourt time with each other. I feel like they do complement each other quite well, actually. So I think that's something that could pan out.
Okay. All right, James, you on the clock. You already have LaMelo on your squad now. So you got the 16th pick. Who are you taking?
16th pick. The team already has, it seems like, 1 trillion guards now that we inherited LaMelo. I'm going to go and swing for Patrick Williams out of Florida State. I love his athleticism. He's super young. I feel like in about 2 to 3 years, he could be a really, really good player. I like his upside a lot. And just on this team here, he's obviously a developmental pick. And I think he could fit in. He could stretch the floor eventually and play the 4 and be an athlete. He would fit, I think, with Cat defensively better than Wancho. And obviously he's a lot younger than James Johnson. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Patrick Williams.
Yeah, this is an easy pick, I think, too, honestly.
How's the layup?
Yeah.
As the guy who chose second for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I approve.
Yeah.
Of the 16th.
All right, cool. We good. We good.
We're just making a layup at this point.
Yeah.
Kuzey, you're
Yes.
up.
Which Boston Celtics?
Oh, yeah, you are the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
And
this is
actually,
easy.
before you give your pick, I wanted the people who are listening to know that it is. Well, actually, you can tell them what time is it in Istanbul right now?
11 p.m.
11. Okay, so it's not as late as I thought.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will select Alexej Pokusevski. This is easy pick for me because you guys know Pokusevski is talented and smooth, big, with a wide wingspan. And think about that. Pokusevski didn't work with elite coach. I mean, he plays in Olympiacos B, and Olympiacos B has not a good coach. They work with assistant coach actually, and Pokusevski didn't play in Olympiacos A team. And think about if Alexej Pokusevski worked with Brad Stevens, what can he do? This is really can be amazing because he is hardworking, talented, and very promising prospects in my opinion, of course. And I think he is a good fit for Boston Celtics because he can wait for the improving. I mean, if you play in the G League 2 years, this is not bad for him and Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I think this is honestly something that could happen too in the draft. I think the Celtics are a prime target to take him when the real draft comes.
Yeah, because they don't need him to come in and contribute right away or even the next year. They can develop him, put some weight on him, let him play in Maine. That would be the ideal situation for him, in my opinion. All right, so it's on me. Now, to me, this is probably the best and most seamless fit. And I have the pick for the Dallas Mavs. I live in Dallas, and I'm taking Sadiq Bey. I mean, I think that he fits along with that team, 3 and D. He knocks down open shots. You can play him at the 3 or the 4, and I'm sure Dallas will be happy with that pick.
Yeah, there's a lot of wings in that area I think that Dallas could go with, but Sadiq is a good fit there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I would have had him going a little bit higher. I thought that maybe Minnesota, then even like Orlando, I wouldn't be shocked to see him go as high as 14 also. All right, so it looks like it's me again with the 19th pick, and it's the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm just going off a fit here, and I think I don't know if he'll play early, but I'm gambling on Giannis being there for a while, and I need people around him that complement him. So I'm going early with Tyrell Terry from Stanford.
Yeah, that fit, I think, is something that also could happen in the draft. I feel like he is a shooter that would fit behind what they have right now. That would fit well.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that the Bucks have 2 first-round picks and they can add 2 more shooters is and adding a very good shooter like Terry next to Giannis seems a little bit unfair, but all right, so we're at pick number 20, and it is on you, Kuzey. And it is the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, this will be early pick, but I select Malachi Flynn because if you have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Jared Allen, you need a lot of spacing. I mean, because Kyrie Irving is an isolation player, Kevin Durant is a versatile and team leader, Jared Allen is a classical rim protector and rim finisher. So you need shooting. Player. So I think Malachi Flynn can provide them.
Okay, good pick. All right, James, you're on the clock at number 21, and you got the Denver Nuggets.
All right, Denver Nuggets. It's one of those teams where they are pretty much fit top to bottom. I know Millsap is getting older, but it seems like they drafted Jeremy Grant to kind of fill that role. But I'm going to swing here for the fences. Again, we don't need anybody to play right away. I'm going to go with Jaden McDaniels out of Washington. He's a versatile wing player. He's about $180 right now, but I think that he can develop into a solid rotational piece. And again, that's a team that doesn't need him to play right away. So we can see how it works out for him and utilize his assets.
So Denver is just stashing guys.
At this point, I mean, see what Michael Porter can like legit play, and he barely plays. So it's like, what do you do? You know, they're so young at this point.
And they still got Bo.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever play like the 2K, like my season or my GM? For whatever reasons, they have Bo in the G League, and he's averaging like 30, 10, and
I saw that
4.
I was like, what?
Yeah, every year, and he never makes the active roster, but he just dominates the G League. And then I like to like simulate, and even when he's a free agent with 0 years of NBA experience, he's asking for like 26 mil. Fresh out the G League.
As an Oregon fan, I approve that. I'm good with that lifestyle choice.
Yeah, if I'm Denver, I'm probably looking to move this pick, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. So number 22 is Philadelphia, and that pick goes to Jason.
I think Stone, right?
Stone, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Stone. Sorry.
All right. So with this pick, I'm kind of looking at my board here at the same time. I'm going to go with a shooter, obviously. They need spacing. Everybody knows it. I'm going to go with Grant Riller here. I think he provides the shot creation, the spacing that Philly so desperately needs at this point. He gives them another playmaker when Simmons sits. Just a guy that I think can instantly come off the bench and provide all the things that they need from the guard position right now. So I think this is another just seamless fit, honestly. And I think that he'll be a contributor come playoff time, whether it be next year or the year after. I think that he's just going to be a pretty easy fit here.
So does that mean you believe in Shake as a starting point guard of the future?
I do not at this point. I feel like that's up for grabs.
Interesting. I like that pick. I like that. All right. 23, Miami Heat. So it looks like it's on you, Mikey.
Yeah. And I am going to go with RJ Hampton.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's been a big fall.
It would be an interesting fit. Yeah. RJ is a guy who is not necessarily somebody that you want as your primary initiator, but the big thing with him is if he can get his shot together. And in Miami, they've been doing a great job with that as far as development. He certainly has some pretty, I wouldn't say elite level quickness, but he's really quick. He has good size. Seems like somebody who could add strength. Seems like he has a really good head on his shoulders. So yeah, I think at this point with the Miami pick, that's a pretty good situation for him.
Yeah,
He's actually added strength. I've seen him. I've seen him around Dallas, and he's put on some weight, and he works hard. So he does kind of fit that whole Miami style of just hard worker guy that just goes in the gym. And so yeah, that's an interesting pick. I did not see him.
Mechanics look like, Rob? Did he change his shot?
His elbow used to be out a little bit, but now he's changed it, and it's more. It's more of a traditional form. I saw him work out maybe a month and a half ago, but the main thing is making sure that he keeps his form consistent when he's actually playing in games. So doing it in an empty gym is one thing, but making sure that he doesn't go back to his old habits in games. But he's working with Mike Miller now, so yeah, I mean you have one of the best shooters in NBA history working with him on the shot, so that can be very big, especially for Miami to get him so late in the draft.
How do you think this impacts how the Heat view Tyler Hero, Mickey?
Oh, I think I don't know. I have a chance. I feel there's a chance they could eventually play together. With Jimmy, I just feel like there's some versatility there with RJ as well. And I think they're very happy with Tyler Hero so far. But, yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to use the Heat seem to be a team that use a bunch of different lineups, and I think this could be one that works. Even with, LaMelo in Minnesota, I see versatility there. I don't see him necessarily having to be one position.
I honestly see Hero as someone whose contract they trade next summer to clear out the cap space so they can sign multiple max guys.
Oh, multiple max guys. Okay.
Yeah, so I think based off of their – what'd you say?
Trying to do that again.
Yeah, I think I read that who was it? It was Giannis and one more player that they're trying to go after because I know Dragic's contract comes off the books.
Yeah.
Nunn and Robinson have small contracts. And then if Bam waits, then they can sign another big contract and then extend him. And then they could end up with another big three.
Yeah.
And so I think if they get – what's that?
I said if Pat Riley can get instant success, I think he'll go for it.
Yeah, and I think Hero would be one of the contracts that and have value that they have to move in order to get under the. Actually, it was Oladipo. I read they're going after Oladipo and Giannis.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, and so I think Hero's contract would be the one that would need to be moved for them to have the cap room to do that. All right, number 24. It's on you, Jason.
Yeah, number 24. We are with the Jazz.
Yep.
Interesting position. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay from Colorado. I think the way the roster's kind of built for the Jazz right now. Obviously, I think Mike Conley's still got a couple of years left in him. Donovan Mitchell. I think Ingles, is getting a little bit older. I think just bringing in another player to eventually, hopefully, a couple of years move into that starting small forward position for them would be kind of something that'll help.
Who does he remind you of?
It's a tough one. I've watched a few of his games this year. kind of feel it's it's just someone that can be kind of a bigger, small forward, 6'7".
Yeah.
Maybe like a Luke Richard. Or like I don't think he's giving you like the best offense, maybe, but defense is definitely a big thing. Being super athletic, incredibly helpful. And so take a shot on potential, because I don't think I think the Jazz, with Donovan Mitchell, they're in a good position for a little while. So they could, again, like at this late in the draft, it's always with a little bit of risk for hopefully a reward.
With Donovan Mitchell, very tentative as well.
I mean, I think this is a guy that, Sean Marion is a one of one. There will never be another Sean Marion, but he reminds me of like a poor homeless man's Sean Marion. Just like to me, he's more so of a 4 than a 3. And think about it. Sean Marion played in today's NBA. He was actually ahead of the curve as playing the small ball 4. But just his athleticism, his rebounds, if he could, he shot like 41% from 3 this year, but he only took like 1 attempt a game. So if he can increase his range and become a more consistent shooter, I definitely see him as being like this weapon that can score, without the ball, runs the floor, get a bunch of garbage hustle points, and then knock down 3. So I like that pick for Utah.
Yeah, it's Utah's again, like a lot of these teams, like late in the draft, especially like the way the NBA, like the stars are already, going to be gone towards the top. So it's kind of, you just gotta hope for the best.
Yep. So you're on the clock again, right?
Yes, Oklahoma City Thunder again. I think like they are a super backcourt heavy team right now with Chris Paul, Shea, you got Schroeder. If they believe that Lugent's, has some potential. So I am going to go the opposite direction and give them again like somebody in the front court. So I'm going to go with Xavier Tillman, Michigan State.
Love that pick.
Yeah, because again, it's just like you can never start. With big guys in the NBA, I feel they start off a little slower sometimes. So just like again, like let him learn a little things from Steven Adams, and then eventually, kind of come into that spot in a couple years of being, that power forward, maybe smaller center.
It's crazy that Steven Adams might only be like 25. I know he was like 18 maybe when he entered the NBA, but he's still like, I don't even know if he's reached his prime age yet, and it seems like he's been there forever.
For sure.
All right.
A lot of people that are big fans of Xavier Tillman or big fans of Grant Williams. They're just the defensive IQ and awareness, I think, will fit into Oklahoma City.
Yep, and they have so many picks. They have like a ridiculous amount of picks in the next few years. So even if they get a few of them
I don't think
wrong.
Yeah.
All right, number 26. So on you, Mikey, and you have the Boston Celtics.
Do indeed. And I think I took this player at 17 during our last draft. I'm taking Josh Green. And I think Boston, for one, I do really like the Alexei Pokusevsky pick. I think Boston loves like strong guys, good defenders, guys that really know their role. And they love like having that kind of type of wing. And Josh Green is a guy who I feel would know his role, could play some really good defense. Hopefully they can, work on some of the other things like his ball handling and stuff along those lines. But that's not necessarily what you would rely upon him for. And he would have a chance to really develop. But yeah, he's the guy that you're hoping to be a 3-and-D guy, really strong, really versatile defender. So yeah, I really like him at 26.
Man, and that backcourt is getting real crowded because they still have Romeo Langford from last year.
Do indeed.
And Tremont Waters was the G League Rookie of the Year. He played really, really well, and I know they like him too.
Yeah. I feel like Green is kind of like a combo wing as well.
Yeah.
So I think you could even play him at the 3, albeit that their best players are kind of like in the 3-4 range. But yeah, you can never have too many wing assets, and I think that's something that Danny Ainge has always done a great job with, is having all of these young assets that you could possibly get something out of in the future.
Yeah, just because
It's
you
like-
have him doesn't mean you have to play him.
Yeah, it's like he's stockpiling picks and young talent again to get, to make a splash. And I see them probably getting rid of some of their wings for a big.
Yeah.
Steven Adams, possibly.
Ooh.
All right, Stone, you got the pressure. You got to pick for the Knicks fans again.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I'm already prepared to be booed, but I'm gonna go with the Knicks fans. Probably, yeah, they're gonna be mad, but I'm gonna go with Leandro Bolmero here. He's the highest guy on the board. I think he's. I buy into the offense a lot more than other people, so that's the reason I have him so high. I think that the shot creativeness is there. I think he's a real shifty offensive player, a guy who I think can provide the role that RJ Barrett people think he can provide that. I think Leandro Bolmero will actually provide that. So I think, no matter what I pick, I'm going to get booed, but I'm going to go with the highest guy on my board.
And you know what? Based off of what we have, the Knicks haven't had a bad draft with Halliburton and Balmero, but the fans would be livid if they drafted those guys on draft night.
Yeah,
Just
probably.
Yeah.
Their territory. Yeah.
When have the Knicks fans been right? I'm
Yeah.
just considering that.
But Bolmaro is a really good pick in my opinion because he really
Yeah.
good season, and I think he will be better player than Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, for sure. I think he provides the offense as probably a backup to begin with. The instant offense that we've seen them in games, they just have droughts of, not being able to score. So I think Bolmero can help out in that area.
And they have two guys that can pass and move the ball.
Yeah.
So, which they didn't have last year. Other than Peyton, the ball just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
James, you got the Toronto Raptors.
All right, Toronto, I think we're going to go in the direction of a point guard. I know Fred VanVleet is due for a big contract, and Kyle Lowry should be about 33, 34. I'm going to go ahead and take Nico Mannion out of Arizona. I think he will be pretty good in the NBA with his spacing. Hopefully he shoots the ball a lot better than that 32% he shot in at Arizona. I don't necessarily believe in Terrence Davis. They played him a lot at point guard last year, and I don't think that's something that you can do, not necessarily full time as your backup. And I'm just assuming that eventually they're going to need another guard with those guys going. But Nico, he can pass. I believe he's a better shooter than what he was, and I just think it kind of fits with what they're going to do as far as just guys that kind of fall under the radar. Masai has an eye for them.
Yeah, no matter who you pick here, I think the Raptors are just phenomenal at developing talent. So I think that they're going to have a chance to be a steal in the draft, no matter who you take, because of that developmental program.
Definitely, and they could also go in the direction of a big, because I think Ibaka and Gasol and Boucher could all be free agents. So. But that's a good pick. I mean, I think Van Vliet is going to get. He's going to get paid. I mean, I think the Knicks might go after him, depending on, if they don't have some of Detroit. I don't know. I think the Knicks might have some of these CAA guys already in the pipeline that they're going to get. But we'll see if Toronto decides to keep Van Vliet. I mean, I think they should. I mean, he knows their system. It's just how much are they going to pay him?
Yeah.
All right, Kuzey, Los Angeles Lakers, another tough pick.
Make me proud.
Oh,
Actually, this is a pretty easy pick. There's a couple guys that I think would be seamless fits for them.
I will choose Desmond Bain.
Yeah, there you go.
Because they need a player who can shoot, who can play with a high level, mid-level athleticism and can defense. So I think Desmond Bain can provide them.
Home run pick.
He can be good player as a coaching Frank Vogel, because you guys know Frank Vogel now love player who can play is the off-ball motions, and Desmond Bain can play off-ball motions in the NBA level.
For sure. Another ball handler and shooter is exactly what they need. So
Yeah.
Yep. So it looks like it's on me with the 30th pick and final pick for Boston Celtics. And someone says, get my boy Kuzey on the team to scout GM14. So you got a fan. All right. So for me with the Boston Celtics, they don't need another wing, but I can't believe this guy has failed this far. And I'm going to take Jamias Ramsey with the 30th pick.
yeah.
All right, so
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say another big, strong shooting guard type. I think him and Josh Green would be steal for the Celtics that late.
Yeah, I mean, I know they had what, three picks,
Yeah, they're not keeping
3
all
picks
of
in-
the real thing, but yeah.
but the picks based off of us selecting for them, they won this draft. They got a few guys that they can move, and so
For
I'm sure Danny Ainge would be happy. All right, so based off of who we've the names that we've called, what guys are you shocked? What players are you shocked that did not hear their name called today?
My board. I don't know. Nobody super shocking.
Yeah, Jalen Smith, I guess, is a name. I think a lot of people project into the first round who didn't go in our draft. So I think for most people that could be kind of a shock, maybe.
Right. I think, based off a lot of the boards I've seen, I think Tillman going in the first round kind of bumped somebody out. I think Trey Jones was a guy who everybody has probably projected late first round, early second. Let's see who didn't get.
Theo
Maladon.
Maladon.
Yeah,
Theo didn't get drafted.
the highest guy on my board who didn't get drafted in the first.
Yeah.
And then the bigs, from Isaiah Stewart to Paul Reed to Vernon Carey, Robert Woodard.
Yeah, you're gonna have
those
a lot of those bigs drop into the second round because there's a lot in that range, and not all of them can fit into the first.
Yep.
I just think the way the league is, right? The game is right now. Yeah.
Exactly. They're going to prioritize that cluster of guards late in the first over that cluster of bigs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming in and spending time on your Saturday to do this mock draft. Hopefully we can get together soon, maybe do a second round. And then definitely I want to get everybody back on once we actually know what the actual lottery looks like. So hopefully we can do a second round soon. I think we did one before. It was just 4 of us, right? When we did the second round. And so now that we can have a few more people, I think I need to go ahead and pay this $25 to StreamYard so we can get more than 6 people. Shout out to Gerald from Lakers Fast Break. He was with us and he kind of got bumped out because we thought we could have 10 and we could only have 6. So he was a good sport.
Team player.
Took one for the team. So follow Gerald at the Lakers Fast Break. Listen to the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's on all your streaming platforms. And so for everybody on here, I know you mentioned where you can find your work at, but just for those that tuned in late, if you can just let everybody know where they can find your work as far as like your podcast or your draft info.
Yep. Well, for me, at NBA Draft Mikey V, I have my Twitter handle as my name here. At Viseland, you can email us, viselandpodcast@gmail.com.
Viselandpod@gmail.com.
Viselandpod@gmail.com. And you can follow my brother at Jay Visenberg. But yeah, Jason.
Yeah, I'm at Jay Visenberg, jvisenberg.com, and at Viseland on Twitter, and then you can follow Viseland on YouTube. We're on Apple, Spotify, wherever podcasts are given for free. We will be there.
All right. So is this the podcast with it says Viseland, the place to go for all things Visenberg?
That is correct. Not to be confused with those other Visenberg places that people are searching for on the internet. This is the official.
The
real
official.
Real deal.
Okay.
There's a lot.
All right, Stone.
You can find me at report_court on Twitter. Everything I do there will be posted up there. Everything I do for draftsite.com will be up there as well. Hopefully, I'll get into my 2021 board pretty soon, so you can also find that up there.
All right, James.
Oh, well, you see, I just changed my name to my Twitter handle name because I don't feel like spelling right now. But you can find all of the information that I help with you, Raphael, obviously, on Draft Junkies on YouTube. And yeah, that's probably the easiest way.
All right, Kuzey, the young Turkish sensation. You have a fan. Another person says that you are the GM of the night.
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. My nickname is Kuzey KG, Kuzey KG. I tweet about Turkish prospect and all of international prospect, including 14 years old African prospects. So I tweet English and Turkish, but I also tweet English. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much.
And he doesn't sleep. I mean, he's in Turkey. I can wake up in the morning and he's tweeting. I can go to bed and he's tweeting. And sometimes I can't read his tweets because they're in Turkish, but he usually follows it up with something in English. So Kuzey is going to be working with me on NBA Draft Junkies. So I'm really excited about what he brings to the table. And then finally, I'm Raphael, NBA Draft Junkies. You're on the YouTube channel. Thank you to, I think at one point we had like 41 people watching. So thank you to everybody that's tuned in and watched. Thank you to the guests, like I said, for taking time out on your Saturday to come on and do this live draft. So hopefully we can have another one soon. And that's all I got. Thanks again, everyone. And we're out.
Thank you.